season that we're doing in our abundance, our season of abundance, season 46, is called Of Peace. And there's no better way to bring of peace in than with return to patience. Where busk was kind of in your face, return to patience is in your spirit. It was a rehearsal at Juilliard, and I was telling Aszure that I was watching a run of it and wanted to weep, but it wasn't a sad cry. You know how you just cry, you're like, I don't know why I'm crying, I can't explain why I'm crying. It just felt like that the piece, the work was so intimate, and it felt personal, and it kind of tugged on something. It tugged on my sensitivity, it tugged on my empathy, it tugged on all of those fuzzy little things inside. And so I don't know why I felt that way, but that's what I went away with. And I felt at peace at the same time.
I've tried for years to separate my own experience and separate myself from the work, and it's impossible. So at that point, I was working in New York and was recommissioned to do a piece at Juilliard. And I wanted to actively practice creating a space of patience. I really was a very singular goal for me.
So the year was 2015, and I was a sophomore in college. And I don't think I knew how to articulate it at the time, but this piece really does align with a lot of my values: being patient, holding space for the mass group. And I remember kind of all these moments where my mind was blown. And so I did my best to kind of like keep that treasure, but it was awesome to see the rest of my coworkers and friends and colleagues experience that same thing.
So I got to do it my senior year, which was spring of 2022. So not that long ago, but so much has happened in the span of just a season here. I'm going into my second season, and it's really special. When I heard that Aszure was coming and that we were bringing this piece back, I was so excited. At school, I think at that time, you're in school and you're already starting to transition out and audition and kind of going through that craziness. So I think that was always a space to calm down and to really tune in to ourselves. And Assure's work really teaches me about so many things. It teaches me about sensitivity and the connectedness and technique and challenging musicality, and I'm learning that it's not just return to patience, it's busk, it's her movement language that I really connected to instantly, and so I feel really grateful to have her here and to have time.
To be able to create a space where you're listening and be able to hold space for other people, for the mass group, and to be patient and to really listen and not just pretend to listen to the music. It's building that kind of relationship with how can I respect the sound, because it's sacred for me, this relationship with music. The dancers are incredibly beautiful.
But we see your relationship to music so clearly in your work. I think that's what draws me to you. I'm like, oh, she's highlighting everything. Once she got here, she had just gotten off the plane from Hamburg, and the dancers are so talented. And she just loves being in this space, this creative space, that she just started working right away, like forget jet lag. And so just imagine when there's time, right? And that's the beautiful thing about this 3-year residency, is that there's time. She can chart time and say, okay, I'm gonna do this in December, and she can go away and think about the dancers that she's spending time with now and really come back and craft something specific for them. And she's so energized and inspired by them that it's gonna be fantastic. It's very exciting. I just think this is such a special time for Hubbard Street, to have a resident choreographer. We have had others over the years, but this is a new era, and I think that that's one thing that this puts a staple on. And I am honored that Aszure is kind of shepherding in that era with us.
I'm so happy to be here and to feel supported by you and everyone. I'm very grateful for the amount of companies I get to work with and to be able to return to a place to go deeper in the work is really important. At this point in my career, this relationship at Hubbard Street is something that means a lot to me, and I really appreciate everyone's support in that. It's the only way, I think, to really make something meaningful, and the work thanks you too.